You're listening to The Front Porch Show. Some shows are niche shows, talking about specific topics. Others, shows about nothing. This show is the show about everything. On The Front Porch Show, we'll talk about current events, some news, a little bit of politics, along with a whole lot of life. Welcome to Our Front Porch. 1-402-799-1811. You're listening, of course, to The Front Porch Show. You've got me, Mathis. Ozzy's across from me.
Yo, yo.
Ben, or not Ben. Good grief.
Yep, he's here, too.
Ben's here, too. Tombstone and Jeff are incognito tonight. We're recording on a different day.
Weak sauce.
Jeff may or may not have had to work. Tombstone wasn't actually going to be here.
We couldn't even get Karen on.
So Ozzy and I pulled an audible tonight. And decided to record 2 days before we normally record. And I don't know how this is going to go down. Like I'm going to have too much time this weekend on my hands, to be honest with you.
I'm going to be driving, so.
Well, right. So that was the other reason to have the show on tonight was, you of course are driving. So
you couldn't do 2 weeks without my beautiful voice. That's what it is.
I couldn't, and you never know. We may have to call you next week too. So from the road tripping with Ben.
Oh yeah, man.
Ozzy, I finally got around to trying the sandwich.
Oh goodness.
As most of our listeners probably have seen already, if not at our Facebook page, I tasted on video the Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich and compared it against the Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because all right. So I got how's the bun first off?
On the new one.
Yeah.
On the new one, it was good. It was a brioche bun. Little touch of sweet, I guess. Like It was a nice bun. It was a good bun.
All right.
I was very happy with it.
I also you were saying in the video that it had large pickles. So
yeah, so the pickles were much thicker than
were they like pickled chips, or were they like the large
they were pickled
flat
chips.
Slice
pickled chips.
Okay.
So like rippled cut, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
And they were
they dill?
They were dill, yeah. Same as Chick-fil-A, like very similar flavor profile, but they were a lot thicker.
Okay.
Which goes better with the meat because there was a lot more meat on the.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
So like
now, was the meat now? I know what Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich, right? It's not like they put a sauce on it to make it spicy.
No.
Like it's actually built into like the crust, I guess.
Yeah, into the breading.
Into the breading, right. Is it like the same thing, or is it like, did they put some kind of a sauce on it?
This is different. So your standard regular Popeye's chicken sandwich comes with the pickles, the chicken, and mayonnaise.
Okay.
Not sold on that. But that's
kind of a McDonald's thing to do.
Part of the reason I didn't go with the standard was I didn't want the mayonnaise.
Because you couldn't just ask for them not to do that?
Right. I wanted to be a purist about it, though, and I really wanted to order it and eat it as it came. And so I ordered the spicy, which...
I love how you say that, and then like in the video you were like, this is how I modify my Chick-fil-A one by getting the spicy bar or honey sauce or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And so I just wanted to clarify on that, and it's the honey roasted barbecue sauce, which is off the hook, especially on the fries, on those waffle fries. Oh man. And so I ordered the spicy,
I like the Polynesian sauce myself.
I've never had that.
Ooh, it's good.
I always go to try something else, and I always navigate right back to the honey roasted barbecue sauce.
Isn't that terrible how you do that with like certain restaurants? Like there's like with Chili's. I did the exact same thing at like Chili's. You get the chips, and then you order exactly the same thing you always order because you're like, I found the one thing that I like.
Oh yeah. We've got this incredible Mexican restaurant in town called El Mezcal. And
is that like a molcajete in Greenville?
It is.
You remember that place?
No, I don't. I never went there.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, never went there.
Jeff? Where's Jeff?
This place is a Tex-Mex restaurant. It's amazing, legit food. It's super good. Anyways, I ordered the burrito patron, which is steak, chicken, and shrimp.
Oh yes,
all stuffed in a burrito, smothered in queso cheese with of course a salad on the side, a couple pieces of tomato and some lettuce to make you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
And they serve it with a habanero hot sauce. Ooh. And it is, I can't taste much heat. Like I can't taste much heat. I can feel this. This is good. This is so tasty. Like when I have a hot sauce, I taste the flavor, not the heat.
So we'll get to try this on when you fly us out
for
the holiday party that we're having.
It'd be amazing, right? And so every time I cut this thing down the center and I kind of break open the entire burrito, because there's no way you can pick it up and eat it, right?
All right.
Because it's smothered in queso sauce. Yeah. And so you're going to eat it with a fork anyways. And so I split it open and drizzle that hot sauce all up in there. So good, man. So good.
Ooh,
anyways, that has nothing to do with the spicy chicken sandwich.
But it was a great detour.
Oh, it was. But this is just a regular chicken patty with a Cajun sauce on it.
All right.
Not bad.
What are we talking about Cajun sauce here? What is similar to here?
It was a little spicy. It's got paprika in it, some pepper, obviously.
Now, do they do like a Buffalo Wild Wings thing where they kind of like throw it into a bag with the sauce and toss it around? Or is it like on top of like the bun?
Simply on the bun, top and bottom on the bun. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounded like all right, with Chick-fil-A, it literally is like you have gone and you just dunked a chicken breast into the peanut oil and have fried the chicken breast up right there.
Oh yeah.
And then just slapped it on there. Is it like that, or is it more like processed meat?
I thought no, this was a good chicken breast. Like this was a legit chicken breast. It was good, but it was just I hate to say it, and I love meat and I love chicken, but it was a huge chunk of chicken on the sandwich. Like it was the equivalent of two Chick-fil-A chicken patties.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
that's nothing to shake a stick at. That's a lot of meat.
It was a lot of meat. And I'm sitting there. After the video, I had to finish the sandwiches, man.
Have you heard of the double down for Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Getting that thing?
Or the KFC.
No. They did it at a Chick-fil-A.
What?
These people did it. I got a video for you. They did it at a Chick-fil-A. So it is. Oh yeah, man. It was the Chick-fil-A double down, and they had to it's hilarious because they go through the drive-thru. These two people, they go through the drive-thru and they're talking to the people, and the Chick-fil-A people have no clue what they're talking about.
Right.
And finally, they just tell them, you know what? Just come up to the window, tell us what it is, and they made it for them.
That's amazing.
And it was, amazing. My gosh, it was huge. It was I think it was like 4 or 5 pieces of meat.
That's incredible.
And then cheese in between it. And
that's incredible.
Man, it was this jazz. And they put it in one of the cookie bags because they couldn't fit it into anything.
That's amazing. So
yeah,
I was,
Chick-fil-A is awesome.
I really wanted to interview the folks of the drive-thru at the establishments, but I thought that might be a little too weird.
I don't know that those people would have jobs if you did.
Well, they were both. So the funny thing is, they were both managers, so it would have been okay, I think. I mean, obviously I would have asked them if they wanted to interview real quick in the drive-thru, but it was solid. As I said in the video, is it worth dying over the Popeye sandwich? No, it's not. No, it's
Chick-fil-A
not.
one might have me, maybe.
Right.
But holy moly, still though. Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's a crazy story.
So if we're talking the last chicken sandwich on earth, right?
Maybe the last chicken sandwich on earth at a Black Friday sale.
Right. Yes, I would fight over a Chick-fil-A. I would fight over the Chick-fil-A on that one. I would not go for the Popeyes.
I wonder how that affects Chick-fil-A on Black Friday. I'm not willing to go find out, but I wonder if good Lord, can you imagine the amount of people that are going to be at Chick-fil-A for breakfast? That's got to be a nightmare for people.
Do you know how many biscuits they must go through?
Holy moly.
Okay, so here's my only complaint about Chick-fil-A.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
Spicy chicken biscuit.
Right.
They don't have it.
Exactly. What happened to that? How is that not popular?
So angry. So angry about that. Bitter.
So disappointing. And I have to say, my one thing about Chick-fil-A that I am not a huge fan of is the grilled stuff. My wife gets the grilled stuff and she likes it. It's just
it doesn't have the flavor.
No, it doesn't.
It's worth losing 5 years of my life.
It's not bad. It isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they have any problem with the taste or anything. But compared to the traditional chicken sandwich with the crust and the peanut oil and everything, it is just it's a disappointment.
I know.
It really is.
I know.
It's just like it's
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear you.
It's like marrying a vegetarian and then being forced to eat kale. It's sad. It's sad, and it's something that shouldn't happen.
Thankfully didn't happen to either one of us. You know. But yeah.
I'm glad I just got on to starting the timer there. We'll be back.
Update on the Head Gasket Saga of 2019, Ozzy.
It continues.
It's almost done. It's almost done. So
that's what they keep saying about Star Wars too.
Did you see the great comment by who's the dummy who plays Mark Hamill? Mark Hamill. I don't like him. He's a jerk. Anyways,
okay.
Totally, like on Twitter, he's just a complete jerk. Anyways, he posts the other day. He's like, so they released the trailer for the final movie in the saga, right?
Right.
And he's like, final question mark? Yeah, right.
I love it.
It's like,
you know what he has done over the past, like, I don't know, 30 years or whatever since the first movies?
Been a real jerk?
No, he has actually been around, and you actually probably know his voice.
Oh, yeah. He's been in a ton of movies, like, and voicing stuff.
Right, but specifically one thing.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
All right, did you ever watch any of the Batman cartoons from basically 1985-ish onward?
Was he in that?
He's the Joker.
No, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
He's the voice of the Joker.
I told you he was a jerk. Anyways,
the Crown Prince of Crime.
Yeah, exactly, man. That makes so much more sense now.
All right, where are we going with this head gasket here?
So the last thing
I'm about to blow.
The last thing we knew is we thought I blew my turbo, right? I was driving down the road, thought I blew the turbo.
Right.
It wasn't the turbo. It was actually an intercooler pipe.
Oh, good. I have no idea what that is.
But so basically in your engine, you have cold air coming in. It goes into the turbo, back out to a radiator on the front of the truck to cool it down, and then back into the engine.
Gotcha.
Yes, and so a pipe that went to the intercooler blew.
Gotcha.
And so, or didn't blow, it just came off because I apparently didn't tighten it down tight enough.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so I did pull my turbo off and inspected it and took it apart and double checked everything inside of it. Everything's fine. I didn't have the exhaust clamp on tight enough though. So turns out you need to have an exhaust clamp tight, but you know, otherwise things under the hood get very, very hot. And by hot I mean melting wires.
So here's the question. What's messed up now?
Okay, so the unfortunate side effect, and I don't
like
this is not related.
Burning plastic smell.
This is completely unrelated to the melting plastic smell. Because the code was showing before this ever happened. And melting plastic, nothing actually melted. It was a shield that was supposed to be a sacrificial piece. Anyways, I'm throwing a code for a bad injector, which is one of the reasons I ripped the entire truck down to begin with. And so, yeah, just saying.
I don't see what the problem is at all.
No. So I drove the truck to town the other day, thinking maybe the injector would clear out. And and it made it to town fine.
So how fast did you get going into town to clear that out?
I was going 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour down the highway.
Sure.
I just didn't have any power past 70. I'd hit the throttle past 70 and I wouldn't get anything. So
we used to on inspections. Maybe we did this.
Maybe.
We used to go and drive our cars on 285 at a moderately high velocity of speed to try and clear out the crud that was in them, so they would pass the emissions.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny that the fact that we never went over 70 miles an hour.
This is merely hypothetical.
Yeah,
merely
hypothetically, we went never over 70.
No. So I got to town, filled it up with fuel, got it back home, no problems at all, except for it's throwing the code for the injector, and so I've got to figure out if that's a bad wire that I plugged in wrong, or if it's actually the fuel injection control module. So, but that's almost over.
Yeah,
but since
yes, it was how many months ago? 3 months ago.
I've had the whole truck apart for 3 months.
You know what you need to do? What's your other vehicle?
It's a VW Passat with 240,000 miles on it.
How would it look with a slightly used turbo on it?
It would probably go a little faster.
Dude, those Passats, man, those VWs are like a nightmare to work on. I watched the guy.
Yeah.
I watched the guy tear apart a Passat trying to get to change the alternator. Right? You got to take the whole front of the car off.
Yeah. The alternator is a terrible spot.
It's like crazy. Like, all right, Germans, genius, but not practical. There's no way you can almost do any of the work yourself just because of how compact everything is inside of that thing.
Yeah, that's a huge issue with those cars. Is everything is so tight. Yep. I mean, the nice thing is this stuff doesn't fail. But when it does fail,
but if it does, it's going to cost you a pretty penny just because you got to rip. It takes you like 2 days to rip it apart.
Exactly. And so I'm in the spot right now where if my VW goes down, I'm in trouble because I don't really have another car.
Yep.
And so
I'm sure Tombstone will lend you his boat. You can make like one of those those boats with the what about the sand sailors or whatever, the wind sailors, like when you're in the desert and you got the boat.
Yeah.
In Sahara,
What do they call those? I forget what they call those.
I have no idea what they're called.
No, I don't
somebody email us that. I don't know what it's called.
That'd be good to know. A schooner, a desert schooner?
No. Sure, we'll go with that. That sounds good.
Sounds good.
I like it.
So now that the truck is out of the garage, Alyssa's decided that we needed to work on other projects in the house. And so part of the trip into town was hitting the local hardware store.
All right.
And bringing home 100 pieces of wood for the trim for all the windows and doors in the house.
Oh, all right. What kind of trim are you doing?
Pine.
Well, what kind of style, I mean?
Oh, just like, I don't know, like just farmhousey style. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
What's your style? Farmhouse.
I don't know. Basically, I call everything farmhouse style in the house.
It's the Aaron Mathis style of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I got nothing.
It works. It's close enough. I mean, everything's farmhousey.
So that's a lot of wood, man. That's a lot of wood. What else are you doing with woodwork?
And so last night we decided to dive into some oak that I had procured a couple years ago, and
that stuff's hard to work with.
Well, especially when it's old growth.
Get it? No?
Yes, yeah. I heard you. I heard what you said. Yeah, I was ignoring it.
Yep, there was supposed to be a dramatic pause and laughter there. Thank you.
Well, there was a pause. So I'm extremely sore today because I spent the better part of last night trying to join two pieces of this giant oak slab together to build a dining room table.
Wait, how big are these things again?
And so these oak slabs are 2 inches thick by about 8 foot long by 16 inches wide. And I've cut them down to about 7 foot 3 inches, I think.
That is a hunk of oak, man.
Yeah,
holy moly!
They're probably 100 pounds a piece.
That's brilliant.
And so the top will be about 300 pounds. I'm hoping the legs are strong enough.
Please put it on these little rickety legs, because that would be just great.
So they're gonna be oak 4x4 legs, because I don't want to lose the table.
Are you building this in case like the government busts down your door and you can like flip up the table and try and protect yourself while you're shooting back at whoever's coming?
I don't think anything.
The idea?
It's certainly impervious to rounds. So that's good. Yeah, no, this table is incredible. I kind of want to take out a chunk of it and test it for purposes. I don't know.
Just in case that question comes up.
Just in case. I mean,
Aaron's plan is not to bug out, it's to bug in, and he's going to have a lot of these tables everywhere.
If I ever, build a table on commission, I want to be able to tell the people, this table's fully bulletproof.
Now, that's not going to help, like, hiding underneath it during, like, a nuclear holocaust, right?
No, probably not.
It's not as strong as like a school desk.
No, right.
Those obviously had to be the strongest things in the world, according to like government videos that I watched from back in like the 50s.
Well, I think the point behind that tuck under the desk was so that you didn't see your friends die.
Duck and cover.
Yeah. My mom and dad talk about doing those drills back in school.
Yeah, my
that's
folks do.
Scary as all get out.
Yeah.
Man, woo! I tell you, I don't know. So this table is going to be an absolute monstrosity.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Though
it's going to be 8 foot long by 42 inches wide, 40 inches wide, 40 inches.
Nice.
I think 40 inches. Nice. So it's a big table,
2 inches thick. Holy moly!
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And hand planing.
Awesome.
Planing because I want that hand planed feel and. I don't know. I figured it'd give me a good workout. Yeah, just a little.
It's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, but man, yeah, you feel it. It was for sure.
I spent maybe 2 hours last night planing this thing, or planing the edges to get them all perfect.
Yep.
And I think I've got like a 64th of an inch gap on one spot, and I'm like, what's a 64th amongst friends? I mean, no one. Number one, I think I can cinch that up with a clamp. I mean, maybe not, but I mean, but
you're going to be living with that the rest of your life.
I don't know.
Like that 1/64th.
I know, but I'm like,
right
the other part of
there.
me is like, but what does it matter? I mean, it's gonna be a farmhousey table anyways, and so the imperfections are part of the glory.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple.
Telling yourself that.
There's a couple knots in it with cracks and stuff, and then
nice.
There's one really cool part where a beetle had bored into board.
A beetle was born in what?
Yeah, a beetle had bored into it, and so you have this little like pinhole. Very
nice.
Cool, very cool. Anyways, nice. Yeah, old oak.
Do the beetles still live in there?
No, I hear they're on Abbey Road. That's a.
I
okay.
got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just not reacting.
Man, that was such a good joke too.
So was mine.
That's true. That's true. All right. When we come back, we'll talk about serious stuff.
Yeah,
like who knows what. We'll find out when we get back.
Be honest, Jeff and Tombstone aren't here. It's not
true.
Serious.
It's true.
They deliver in other ways, but they want to deliver vast amounts of information over the internet. And again, the internet is not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. And if you don't understand, those tubes can be filled. And if they're filled, when you put your message in, it gets in line. It's going to be delayed by anyone that puts into that tube enormous amounts of material.
She's shocked that I picked her. Like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
I don't even.
It's like the things that are in your mind that kind people don't say because they're kind, and then it just slips out.
There are days. See, here's the problem. Like, there are days when I absolutely think the guy's hilarious, and I'm like, yeah, Trump, because he does something that's cool or does something that's, legitimately amazing.
Right.
And then there's days
he has had his moments.
Then there's days when, he says something like that, or, when he says other things, like any other thing. And I'm like, man, he's president of the United States of America. Whew, rough. So,
yeah,
Democrats are proceeding with the impeachment of President Trump, and I thought it was interesting because Steve Scalise. I'm not going to try to sum up his conversation. I kind of just want to let him roll with it.
All right.
He got up and did a speech before the House of Congress, or is it House? Yeah, before the House of Representatives, and kind of expressed his concerns with the issues with the impeachment of Donald Trump. So now here's Scalise. Remember, Scalise was shot back during that congressional softball game. Back in, boy, is that over a year ago now? 2 years now?
I think it was. Yeah, it was
a long time ago.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's Scalise in his own words.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank my colleague, Mr. Cole, for yielding. Madam Speaker, I rise in strong opposition to this resolution. Unfortunately, we've seen since the day that President Trump was inaugurated, there have been some people that made it public that they wanted to impeach him. Not because there are high crimes and misdemeanors, which is the constitutional standard, but just because they don't agree with the results of the 2016 election. That, Madam Speaker, is not why you impeach a president. There is precedent. This has only happened 3 times in the history of our country. Every time it not only started with a full vote of the House, but it also started with actual fairness. We're not getting that fairness today. When you look through this resolution, in multiple places, it gives veto authority by the chair to literally reject any witness that's brought forward by the minority. So no rights for the minority unless the chair so designates. In fact, in this resolution, it allows the chair to veto even the ability for the president to have legal counsel in the room. If the chair chooses at his whim, they can literally kick out the president's legal counsel. This is unprecedented. It's not only unprecedented, this is Soviet-style rules. Maybe in the Soviet Union, you do things like this, where only you make the rules, where you reject the ability for the person you're accusing to even be in the room, to question what's going on, for anybody else to call witnesses, when only one person has the right to call witnesses. And as we saw just the other day, the chairman was literally directing the witness to not answer certain questions by the Republicans. What kind of fairness is that? Maybe you think it's fairness if you can run roughshod over somebody because you've got the votes, but that's not how impeachment was supposed to go. In fact, Alexander Hamilton himself, during the debate on the Constitution in the Federalist Papers, Alexander Hamilton warned of days like this, and I quote, "The greatest danger is that the decision on impeachment will be regulated more by the comparative strength of parties than by the real demonstrations of innocence or guilt." Alexander Hamilton warned about days like today. This is not what we should be doing. Clearly, when you ask the American people who know that they're paying higher drug prices, and they see that there's legislation, bipartisan legislation to lower drug prices, that won't come to this floor because of the infatuation with impeachment. We don't even have a bill to formally pay our troops and make sure they have the tools they need to defend this country because there's such an infatuation with impeachment. Madam Speaker, when you look through this resolution and you see how one-sided, how Soviet-style this is running, this is the United States of America. Don't run a sham process, a tainted process like this resolution ensures. It ought to be rejected, and I think you'll see bipartisan rejection of this resolution.
And there it is. There it is, Scalise.
Interesting.
Yeah, and see, so, like, I don't necessarily have an issue with impeachment as long as it's actually, legitimate. Like, oh, wait, like Alexander Hamilton said. If it's for a legitimate purpose, let's do it. Let's get it over with. Let's take care of this in an honorable fashion.
Right.
And move on so that the country can get on with business as it should be.
Right, but there are rules that are laid out for this exact reason, so that you don't have people just flying off the handle and not liking somebody and going, hey, you know what? We don't like them. Some of the country doesn't like it. Maybe most of the country doesn't like him. Whatever else. And because of that very reason, we just don't like him. We're going to get rid of him.
Right. Exactly. But that's been I guess my biggest issue is they threatened impeachment like before he was even sworn into office.
Right.
Like they have been on this impeachment train since they lost the election.
Yes. And absolutely.
Look, no one likes losing an election. I get it. It's not fun. I don't like it when the people I want lose the election. I don't like it.
But why is it so much more dramatic now than it was? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think that it's social media that has dealt with this, or do you think that it's just the millennials who are coming up are just uneducated as far as here's how things actually work, as opposed to this mob rule that everybody has of community mentality of being able to get rid of things or not like things or like things. Do you know what I mean?
I think
that wasn't there 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
I think it's if you yell loud enough and long enough, someone's going to listen. And so, I mean, just look at what they've done over the past, take the past 3 years now? Mm-hmm. 2.5 years?
Oh yeah.
Since Trump was sworn into office.
Yep.
You have had time and time again. We had the Russia thing.
Right.
Why are we not hearing about Russia right now?
Because it didn't work. There's nothing left.
But the problem is, if Russia was legitimate, why are we not hearing about it now?
Right.
Like literally, like seriously.
It's because they're grasping at straws to try and get rid of this man for some reason that they've caused so much hatred for him. And it's incredible because it's not like he's perfect by any means.
No.
He leaves a lot to be desired.
Right.
And he has done a lot of things that are very questionable in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, right now, you have nothing legally on him that he cannot, by law, do.
Right.
And you're grasping at straws and you're pushing all these agendas and you're trying to find things. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Except everybody still believes him.
I think
and I don't understand why. Is it because everybody just hates the wolf that much? I hate to make Trump the wolf in this, but
yeah, no.
Is it that everybody hates the wolf so much that they're so willing to believe this little boy who is the Democrat Party and liberals on every single thing that they want to say about him, because they just can't accept the fact that he's not Hillary Clinton or, you know what I mean, somebody who they wanted.
Well, it's they lost, and they're just sad they lost. They're bitter. And as I said, I understand that. I don't like it when I lose either. But you know what?
I get Chick-fil-A at the end of the day.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I think my biggest issue with both parties right now is if the presidency was set up the way that it was intended by the founders, the president would not have enough power that it matters who's in office.
Right.
It shouldn't matter who's in office. Like it should literally not matter who is holding office. What should matter is Congress and Congress. Congress should be what matters. There should be senators
that report to their constituents who are us for what we want them to do.
You mean
what what their job is, instead of actually, going and saying, hey, you know what? I went this way. Everybody that I support is this way, and I'm just going to go with what I feel.
I know. It's super frustrating. It drives me crazy.
Right.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously the Democrats are keeping on going forward. They're trying to rack up support in the Senate.
We'll see.
Who knows what's going to happen?
We'll see. I don't know.
I don't care either way.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be, if they're going to make it or not. If Trump's going to make it out of all of this alive, because they just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming.
Well, he'll make it out alive. I don't know if he'll make it out of it in office.
Yes, exactly.
I just wanted to clarify to the Secret Service who may be listening right now. That was not a.
No.
that was a comment of yeah. All right. We'll be right back.
Tombstone at the Front Porch Show.
Did you know, Ozzy, that Survivor is still on the air?
Hold on. Wait, what show are we on?
Like Survivor.
Was that the Survivor intro? Where do we get that intro from? I'm confused.
Oh no, that was just an intro.
I thought I got into a different podcast or something.
No, it's just a different intro.
I was like, what do I do? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, just a different intro.
That's brilliant. Anyway,
I was just throwing in a different intro, trying to keep things fresh.
I like it.
You know.
So wait,
next week there's going to be words in there.
Survivor is still on?
Yeah.
So how many seasons is that?
39 seasons, which means that it yeah, but 39 seasons is not.
How long is it? It's been on 15 years or something?
Since 2000. May 31st, 2000.
It's almost 20 years. Holy cow.
So the crazy thing is, for the first 8 years, it was in single def.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy when you think about it that way.
That is crazy.
And so 39 seasons, 575 episodes. They are debuting their final season, or not final season, their 39th season, September 25th, 2019. So it's already premiered.
Is that going to be like on the moon?
I can't even believe it's still out there. It's Survivor: The Idol of the Gods. It's in Mamanuca Islands in Fiji.
Wow, great job.
hey, I think I actually said it right that time. And so for the last 6 seasons, that's where it's been.
Have you tried Fiji water?
No, I haven't tried Fiji water.
I wasn't a huge fan.
I drink Ice Mountain.
It was okay.
Which is good.
Mountain.
Ice Mountain. It's it's one of those regional, locally brand type things.
Nope.
That they sell at the local convenience store. Anyways, it is basically it's the same water as Arrowhead and as Poland Spring.
Wow.
Yeah, you know Poland Spring.
I do. I bought some Poland Spring for a trip coming up.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's got like the resealable squirty bottles.
Oh yeah, I don't like those.
You know what? They work really well for the kids.
They do.
So that's the thing is like they're a little more expensive, and you know what? We have money, so we'll blow it on that, obviously.
Yes. First world problems. I need the water bottles with the flippy tops.
It's just so much easier.
No, you're right.
You're right. Unscrew the cap on that thing and you hand it to a 6-year-old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's over. It's over.
In a car.
It's over.
You're moving and you can't get into the back seat.
Yeah, but you don't even have to hit a bump and it's spilled.
Oh,
literally, you don't hit a bump and it is still spilled.
It'll be spilled on somebody's brother, or it'll be it's just it's like a horror movie, except the blood is all water.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
So speaking of water, back to Survivor, and being stuck on an island. Guy, I don't know if you remember this guy, retired Navy SEAL by the name of Rudy. He was 72 when the show was on. This was Survivor Borneo. He was the oldest contestant in the show. Anyways, he just died at the age of 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he die like during one of the shootings? What?
Oh my goodness!
Let me qualify that a little bit clearer.
No,
so that sounded terrible.
He was in
during one of the shows.
He was in he was in season 1. Season 1. Okay. Yeah, season 1 of the
I guess he wasn't back on then.
No, he wasn't.
I'm assuming he's not going to be on again.
That's a great Grand Tour reference, by the way, if you missed that. Season 1 of the Grand Tour. I guess he won't be joining us, will he? No, he won't, Ozzy. Nope, I don't think we're going to get him for an interview.
He's not coming on then.
No, he's not. He's not.
That'll put a kink in your plans there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
permanently.
Yep. No, won't be happening. Oh my goodness.
He will not be rising to the occasion.
So it's Howie Carr. Howie Carr out of Boston radio host, right? They would do the death pool for what celebrities and stuff were gonna die.
The death pool?
Right. Yeah, the death pool. Anyways, he's like, basically people would call in or whatever, if I remember correctly, and make guesses on when these people were gonna kick it. And it was horrible.
Somebody get it right?
It was horrible because sometimes people did get it right.
Oh no.
Anyways, they would have they'd intro the segment by, well, so and so is not going to be down for breakfast again, and it's like I heard that as a kid, and like I have clung to that, and so I'll find out some celebrity died, and I'll walk into the kitchen and be like, well, unfortunately, Prince won't be down for breakfast again. And it's like, people are like, what?
Did you ever hear the thing? All right, so my dad used to tell us this, which is great. So he used to tell us that, you go to like some restaurant or somewhere, whatever, and you were eating and it was something really, really bad and, you didn't like it. And apparently this is what they did as kids. And they go, this food is fit for a king. Here, king! That's exactly what I thought about when you were making the Prince reference.
My dad used to tell this story about when he was a kid. My grandfather was in the Navy. He served on submarines. We've talked about him before on the show. Served on submarines in the Pacific.
The submariner, right?
Submariner. Not submariner. Submariner.
Right.
Yes, that's correct.
See, I got that right, and I'm not his grandkid.
You did, I know. And so, anyways, Grammy was a very, I'm not going to say she was a hard woman. She was, but she was. Like she was the, Grandpa was gone for, months at a time. And
okay, so he didn't die.
No.
I thought that's where the story was going. Grandpa was gone. I was like, oh, okay.
No, Grandpa would be gone for months at a time, and so Grandma was the one in charge at home.
Right.
And so she ruled with an iron fist sometimes. And anyways, my dad didn't like steak as a boy. And he would feed it under the table to the dog.
I bet that dog loved that.
Yeah, and I guess this was one of the few times that my grandfather was home or something, because Dad said he walked in the door and let out the dog, and he proceeded to keep putting the steak under the table for the dog, and it ended up on the floor. And yeah, it's as bad as it sounds.
Done been caught.
It is as bad as it sounds, and he got in royal trouble for that one. And my mother tells a similar story. I think it was soup. She was feeding soup to the dog, and the dog got let out. Yeah, and so I don't know if the stories have kind of merged over the years in my head, but yeah. Anyways,
that's great. My kids totally try to feed my dog things.
Oh, so
secretly,
our poor dog is she's about 9, maybe 10, and
all right.
Lab, she is unfortunately has a minor incontinence issue.
Right.
and I won't put the dog in diapers, so the dog, for the most part, stays in the basement. And so the kids have never had the experience of the dog eating, their food or whatever. So it's been good. It's been good. The dog doesn't beg, and the kids don't, volunteer their hard worked for food.
My dog is finding out that the 8-month-old is his best friend. So
I bet
he is great. And let me tell you, my 8-month-old is going to have like the immune system of I don't even know. It's going to be incredible. The amount of licks to the face. I was cooking dinner, and he was crawling around on the floor. Found a piece of bone from the dog.
Oh, bone.
That the dog had been chewing on.
Nice.
And just proceeded to look at it, chuck it in his mouth, and I went, oh, great. Dug it out of there. And then he was chewing on one of the dog's chew toys.
Oh, nice.
Just gnawing on it for, some amount of time. I don't know. He was quiet, so I just let him do it.
Yeah,
Tell my wife.
Right. I was going to say, I hope she's not listening. No, the kids are kids. We have never really had a 5-second rule in our house.
No.
It's like if it falls on the floor and the floor is not dirty,
ours is if you can get to it before the dog, then you eat it.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so I won't do that, of course. But for the kids, that's fine. For the kids, that's fine.
That's because your immune system is already good.
Right. Something like that. As I sit here on the air with sniffles.
I'm actually helping my children just because we don't, believe in just because we don't believe in vaccines doesn't mean anything.
That's funny because I was gonna go there with a joke, and then you went there anyways, and I was like, oh no. Oh, that's too funny.
Man. Oh, it's
no,
good.
bolstering that immune system.
Oh my God! Speaking of bolstering immune systems, so did you hear about the beer guy at the World Series?
Yes.
All right, so
he this is the guy.
This is so good.
This is the guy who what happened? I mean,
all right. So we're playing World Series, right? You got this. I guess he was a DC resident. He was a Washington fan, so he's a Nationals fan. Goes in. I'm assuming coming back, gets his beers. He's got 2 beers in his hands. Home run gets hit, and it just nails him right in the chest. So
amazing shot, by the way. What you would
think? Oh, absolutely. What you would think is this man, holding these 2 beers, is going to get hit by this ball. And what does he do? What does he do? Doesn't drop the beer.
No.
He just holds on to it. And so there's this amazing shot of him, and he's just holding both beers, and he's just bracing his body to get nailed with this ball. And it's hilarious.
It's amazing.
You could check it out. So what happened that makes it even more epic?
So this is, I saw the original video. I did not know this next part.
Yes, I did not know this either until I'm going to admit I'm not a huge baseball fan, so I didn't really watch most of the World Series. I did watch this part. But anyway, so Bud Light, it was Bud Lights that he was holding. Got a hold on Twitter, went onto Twitter and asked people to help find this guy, so that they could get a hold of him and reward him for basically not dropping his beer.
That's incredible. Okay.
And within, I think it was like a few hours, the millennial army of Twitter found out who this guy was and got Bud Light in contact with him.
Yeah, so it was 13 hours later.
Yep. So, and within 48 hours, he was the star of a Bud Light commercial, which you can watch, and it is amazing. So it has like the little breakdown here of, all right, so at approximately 8:30, the guy got hit in the chest. Let's see. At 8:53, Bud Light tweets out about the hero and asks everybody to help him. So this is the same thing. So we're looking at 20. Let's see, 20. Yeah. So 23 minutes later. And then you got 8:59. Bud Light finalizes a T-shirt showing the beer guy. So this guy didn't even know like that he was going to be on T-shirts. He was going to be in a commercial.
That's incredible.
I think they said something about like they spent like $5 million on the commercial or something like that with this guy in it.
That's wild.
Just
so the commercial is basically, it shows the long shot of the shot coming in.
Yes.
Towards him.
And it says, "Not all heroes wear capes."
And then it shows it nail him.
So good.
It shows it nail him, and then it goes, or gloves.
Yes.
Oh,
and the guy did actually get the ball too, which is the best part about it.
Right, exactly. So no one took that ball from him, which I fully expected. I fully expected to see a bunch of drunk dudes pile over on top of him and like.
Yep. Yeah, so nobody touched it. They gave it to him, and he got to become a star. So he is now a hero.
Is he making money off this?
I would imagine he is.
He has to be, right?
He's got to be. I mean, I can't imagine that they can use his likeness.
Well, right.
You know what I mean? Without him making some sort of royalties or something. I'm sure they're giving him something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they did, like I said, within 48 hours, they had him on commercial for Bud Light. And like, I can't even imagine the legalities that they would have had to jump through.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Get all of this, because they would have had to talk to the MLB. They would have had to talk to whoever it was, ESPN.
Or because it's MLB footage.
To get the footage and then be able to use it. And then they probably had to get this guy's permission. You know what I mean? Like, they probably jumped through loopholes. There was some dude that was up for 48 hours doing this.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So, you know what always blows me away? The marketing by the beer companies.
It's always good.
It's always, I know.
Funny.
Like, so Budweiser
funny.
and the Clydesdales.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come
Those
on.
are epic.
Come
Those
on.
are epic. Yeah.
It's like, good grief. They come through about once or twice a year through town.
Yep.
And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, what crazier, better advertising than a whole truck full of horses. Yes. And I mean, it's incredible watching the marketing movements of the beer industry, because they're really good at it. And it blows my mind. Like, I mean, like, other marketing should take ideas from them.
Even within this, like, what really gets me is that, like, they moved fast on this. Yes. They moved fast, because, I mean, obviously the Twitter thing within 23 minutes isn't really a big surprise, to be honest with you.
That's just smart. That's smart.
Yeah, that's just smart. And then all of a sudden they were like, you know what? Somebody was like, we need to get this guy, and we need to make that a commercial. Who do we have to get contact with to make all of this happen?
Can you imagine the number of commercials this guy is going to be in now?
This is what we need to do, is we need to replace the government with Bud Light executives and marketing people.
Streamline the entire process. It'll be cheaper. It'll get done faster.
It'll get done. It's brilliant. You're welcome, America.
There's no way this could go wrong. You know, it's that time of year again when all of the box stores start putting up their Christmas displays. I have been seeing Christmas for the past month and a half now.
Oh, yeah.
It's been about a month and a half now.
It's okay. Michael's Christmas trees are all like 60% off. We're moving on to Easter next.
Good grief. It's so weird to me.
Isn't it though?
I want to make it through at least Halloween before we start talking about Christmas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've heard the argument, and I never thought about this before because I was listening to the radio the other day and they were having this argument. And they were talking about how that, Thanksgiving isn't actually like a season. It's a day.
I was listening to some folks the other day, and they already have their Christmas decorations up inside their house. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Day after Thanksgiving, no problem. Day after Thanksgiving, no problem.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan.
Absolutely.
We usually
go because usually I have to work Black Friday. So normally we're either doing it on the Friday or usually it's the Saturday. We go up and get all the Christmas stuff and we bring it down.
Absolutely.
Which I'm perfectly fine with. Turn the music on. I'm even fine with having Christmas music on Black Friday. I'm fine with that.
But no earlier than Black Friday?
No earlier than Black Friday. No.
Interesting.
Don't do it on Thanksgiving. Come on.
Yeah, when I walk into a house and it's all done up for Christmas already, it feels weird.
You want to take me off for Thanksgiving and make me not thankful? Put on your Christmas music and put up your tree.
Really?
So I don't like it. I don't like it. It's too early. And then how about when do you think that we can do Christmas music? Because I'm pretty sure there's a station on the radio already that is full-time Christmas music already.
So I'm weird with Christmas music. I don't like the traditional Christmas music. You
mean you don't like the 15 versions of Silent Night done by everyone and their brother from metal to classical?
No.
No? Come on.
No, I don't.
You're no fun.
Here's my Christmas list.
Let's see.
I'll share it with you. I will even post this for the fans.
Now here's another question: all right, because I've actually had this one. All right? So, what is a Christmas song? Okay, think about Christmas songs, right? Name one original Christmas song that came out in the past 5 years.
Most of the ones I listen to.
Really?
Yeah. So okay.
Really?
So,
are they? But are they like caroling worthy? Do you know what I mean? Because that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like you're off the beaten path. I'm saying like what Christmas song? Name a Christmas song within the past 10 to 15 years that is actually or that is catchy enough for you to remember it and it being popular. Because I have this theory that like
Christmas
everybody.
There's only one version of that song to listen to, and it's the heavy metal version.
Everybody regurgitates the same stuff.
It's true.
It's like, oh, thank God, Michael Bublé just did Silent Night. Oh, good. I don't know. Whoever else did Silent Night. This person, this lady, this guy. Everybody does the same thing.
You need to look at my Christmas list, man.
Everybody does the same thing. I'll look at your Christmas list some other time.
You need to look at my Christmas list. You're like, it's not Thanksgiving yet.
But I think that there is a severe lack, and I think artists need to get on top of this. So somebody call Kanye West because he is new and fresh.
Oh, yeah.
And hip, and we'll be doing probably a Christmas album coming up, I'm sure.
All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
That was early. That was before 2000.
Oh, that was way before 2000.
Yep.
No, that was 98. When was that?
It was sometime. It was in the mid 90s.
Man,
great, right? Like it's hard to name like a Christmas tune that is catchy like that. Because I would say,
1994. Dang, I feel old.
Right? Because I would say, that's a really good one, and that seems very modern and very new.
But I wouldn't go caroling for it. To it.
But it's recognizable. Okay, my personal favorites are Dominic the Donkey.
Okay.
That is a personal favorite of mine. So I'm a huge fan of Dominic. Because he's awesome.
Santa Claus is Thumbing to Town by Reliant K. That's a good one. Instead of coming to town, he's thumbing to town.
But that's still the play off of the same thing. That's not original. That's not an original tune.
Okay, Owl City, Lights of Christmas. That was a good one.
I don't know that I can.
No, see,
I can sing it.
No,
you're going off of ones that you know, though.
Yeah,
you're not going off of ones that
okay,
they're going to be like the top 100 Christmas songs. All songs are all old songs, and not that I have a problem with all the old songs.
We can't sing "Baby It's Cold Outside" anymore.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on that.
Carrie Job, Messiah.
I still got nothing on that one.
Yeah.
There's one that I can't stand. It's about Maria and this bird that dies. And
what in the world?
Have you not heard that?
No.
That one.
No.
Oh, it's about this little girl. It's about this little girl named Maria, and she finds this bird that has a broken wing or something like that, and she mends it back to health and releases it, and I don't know why it has to do.
It sounds like Christmas shoes.
I don't know what it has to do with Christmas, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't like Christmas shoes either. Stop it. It's a stupid song.
Hey, I agree. See, I don't like stupid Christmas music. Like as I said,
I can't say that because I do like Dominic the Donkey.
Okay.
And I will agree that is a stupid song, but it is fun.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't like just I can't even say I don't like ridiculous music because, as I said, Santa Claus is thumbing to town. I mean,
do you remember Thumb Wars?
Oh yeah,
in the 90s.
No, we are at the concert down in Lincoln couple weeks back with Ren Collective, and the guy behind us teaches Myron how to thumb war.
Nice.
And I was like, wow, I haven't seen anyone do that since the 90s.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
awesome.
I was like, wow. No, I mean, I can't think of any like major, crazy, awesome Christmas music. I don't like anything that is overused, overplayed. Like
just basically 99%.
Unfortunately, it's 99%. So as I said, check out my playlist. Check out my playlist sometime.
Listen,
you will.
If anybody has anything that you can think of, like, we'll just qualify it as this: anything made after 2000.
Yes.
That is played probably within about the top maybe 100 Christmas songs. Basically, it's got to be super recognizable, super catchy. Think Mariah Carey's "Christmas is Coming to Town" or whatever the heck it is. I'm losing my mind.
What is it? All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Right. All I Want for Christmas Is You. I had Santa Claus is Coming to Town stuck in my mind. Something like that. That is a catchy Christmas tune. That is a modern Christmas tune.
Man. Okay,
it's really hard to do. So post it on the Facebook page. Get it on the Facebook page for us.
Pentatonics, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
That's not a new tune.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the top 100, right?
Right.
Christmas Baby Please Come Home. That was a recenter one, wasn't it?
Was it?
I thought it was.
I mean, look it up. That's the thing is like the Mariah Carey one. I thought for sure that was like 2010 or something.
That was 2010.
When I found out that it wasn't, I was like, "Holy cow! Am I old or something like that?" Titanic.
Well, yes, we are, but that's totally beside the point.
I'll never admit it.
But I'm looking at these, and 99% of them are
regurgitated tunes from the 1950s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or it's the original ones. And I don't necessarily have problems with the original ones.
Where are you on Porky Pig's Blue Christmas?
What? I don't know what you're talking. What is that?
You know Elvis Blue Christmas?
I know Elvis, yeah.
Blue Christmas.
Yeah.
Without you.
Yeah, I got you on that.
Porky Pig sings it.
Oh, nice.
It's good. We'll listen to it in the break since we can't listen to it on the air.
Is it like Duck Dodgers? I love Duck Dodgers.
Duck
Dodgers is great.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was one of those things where someone was like, "Hey, watch this, and they sang Porky Pig as singing Blue Christmas. It was good.
Is it? Because you're kind of failing at
making
me care.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't say it's good, but it's gold.
Unique.
It's gold. It's gold.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably post it to the Facebook
Christmas, page. Whatever.
Well, we'll do something. Yeah.
We'll let you know after Black Friday what it's like.
Yeah, because we won't post anything on there until after Black Friday. Because we respect the days of the month.
Turn it into grumpy old Ben.
Every day, man. Every day. Bah, humbug. So I am headed to California in early January of 2020. I guess I'm happy I'm not going to San Francisco. San Francisco's looking crazy. Apparently, I guess 1 in 3 San Franciscans. Is that how you say it? San Franciscans?
I'm gonna go with it. Yeah,
I like it. I like that term. I like that word. 1 in 3 San Franciscans are thinking about leaving the city in the next 3 years.
How's that?
They can't see them. Yeah, so that 35% of respondents said they're very likely to, or somewhat likely to, move out. And it's residents under the age of 35 were most likely to want to leave.
It's because they can't afford housing.
Yeah, so they can't afford it. Renters were about twice as likely as homeowners to be thinking about bailing.
Well, yeah, because it's easier to get out if you're renting.
Remember, San Francisco is the place where
Alcatraz, Golden Gate Bridge.
Well, yeah, but it's also where they have tons of homeless folks living in San Francisco. That's where they're talking about the defecation on the streets and needles on the streets and
I got another segment for you.
Anyway.
I do. It's a New Jersey thing, but it has nothing to do with the East or the West Coast at all. Like nothing.
Okay.
So,
well, no,
I'll bring that up in a different segment. That reminded me of that.
Yeah, though. Have you ever been to San Francisco?
I have never been out quite that far west. The furthest west I've been is Arizona.
Okay.
But I did not make it to California, though.
San Francisco is absolutely beautiful.
I would like to go at some point, but
I should say it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. Like, it has so much potential, but yet the homeless issues are taking over. I don't know how to better I understand that it's very complicated.
What are the main causes of homelessness there? Is it just that is it people...
I think it's that moderate climate, though.
It could be. I know that's why they have a lot of rough states, like you get ups and downs in New York, Chicago, and stuff like that, because it's just not even suitable during the winter time.
Yeah, well, so I had a friend who lived in
that a pretty moderate climate would be a really more people would flock to there, maybe.
Yeah, I had a friend who lived in Santa Barbara, and they said that the number of panhandlers and homeless folks living there were just incredible, and it's because of that. It's because of that. And I think the biggest issue is, and I don't want to say, I don't want to call it compassion, because there's a major difference between just doling handouts and showing compassion for people.
Right.
And I think compassion is seeing a need, meeting a need, whereas just giving a handout, that's not actually helping someone.
Right.
But I heard another stat or another quote recently that it was like, what was it? 3 out of 4 folks that you see panhandling on the side of the road are just doing it as a second job.
Huh.
And that really floored me, because I guess they're able to make $2,000 a month just
I've
standing out there on the corner.
I've heard that too. I remember that back a long time ago, that being a thing. Maybe I want to say the mid 2000s, hearing something about that, where it was you have people that are literally not homeless, and yet they're standing on the street because they can make good money, just from people giving them $1 or $2 per person. If you get 10 people an hour, all of a sudden you're making $30. that's a lot more than I'm getting paid. Let me tell you.
And I don't want to marginalize the fact that homelessness is a real issue, and that some folks, are legitimately homeless and are in need.
Absolutely.
But there are some people who are just using the system and just, they're taking advantage of people.
Right. And I think it comes into, it gets really, really sticky, because how do you determine whether or not who and who doesn't deserve money, or who and who doesn't deserve your help?
Yeah.
And I think it even gets maybe not more sticky, but, we have this whole thing with a lot of Christians who give to people or don't give to people or whatever. And, sometimes I think as Christians, we feel that, I've heard everything from, we shouldn't give money out to people because all they're going to do is they're going to go out and they're going to buy drugs with it or buy whatever else with it. I see that as being, if you're going to help somebody, that's fine. Personally, my thing is that I have money that I carry around with me, usually when I go to cities. And one thing that I remember hearing back a long time ago, I think it was actually in college, was that, we aren't called to, make sure that they are spending their money wisely, or making sure that they're spending money on what we think that they should. We're called to, if somebody asks for help, to give them help.
Yeah, I think as believers, it really comes down to discernment and feeling the move of the Holy Spirit in our lives and saying, hey, you need to help this guy, or you need to help this woman, or something like that. Right. And that may be more than just throwing them a $1 bill or two. Mm-hmm. It may be, that we're actually, getting in the trenches with them and figuring out what their issue is and helping them on a deeper personal level.
Right. Because, and I think that's where, as Christians, this is what we were called to do. We are called to help, the widows, the orphans, to help people that are in dire straits as the church. And I think because of how Americanized our churches have become, that we've taken away from those viewpoints, because
we kind of expect the government to do it for us,
right? And because we have not done that, the government is stepping in and doing the job that is something that should be handled by the church.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
They're the only ones that can help. In the long run, the only ones that can help people get out of what they need to because of Christ and because of salvation.
Yeah.
They're the ones that can help break the bonds of sin, of addiction, of everything else. I'm not saying that you can't do that with a government program, but
I think it's more effective when it's on a personal level.
Right. So,
that's what they're saying here in these articles, is a lot of it is mental health and drug dependency.
And it's a hard thing. It's a really hard thing.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of people, the one that really gets me is veterans. I have a guy that I know, and he was in the not the Korean War. He was in Nam.
Yeah.
And he's a vet from Nam, and he does tremendous. He's tremendous. But his heart is that a lot of people went there and it was just horrible. And what do they do when they come back? They deal with it in ways that, by drinking, by using drugs, by doing, you know what I mean? Because they have those scars from war and didn't know how to deal with them and can't deal with them properly, and maybe weren't prepped correctly for dealing with them. And how do you help those people? It gets really complicated in those ways.
No, you're absolutely right.
But that's why, as a church, we have to try and step up, because that is one of the duties that we are called to do.
Without a doubt. One of the interesting things here. So a couple stats. 8,000 homeless folks living in San Francisco. But there's thousands of more poor people on the brink of being homeless.
Interesting.
So the city has the highest median rent for a one-bedroom apartment at $3,700 per month.
That's crazy.
It's $1,000 more than New York City.
That's crazy.
So one of the cool things is that there are a bunch of entrepreneurs who are rising up to help folks.
Right.
And to provide them with jobs and just help try to dig them out of this pile. But like, think about that, $4,000 a month for rent. How in the world can you make that? At Starbucks,
seriously,
you can't.
It's insane. It's insane. And this is why we were talking about that thing the other week, where they have
the housing pods,
the community, the housing pods and stuff like that. That's why this is all coming into play. It's just like, that is unreasonably expensive.
It's just incredible.
I mean, that really is. Like, that's
one bedroom, $3,700 a month.
Right. How in the world? How could you afford to live there? I
couldn't. No wonder why people are leaving. I mean, there.
Absolutely. Just because of sheer price.
So here's a question for you, and I know it's more of a hypothetical. I can't help but wonder if some of the homeless issues are caused by the high cost of living. Like people just can't afford. People can't afford to live, and then they can't afford to leave. Where are they going to go? How are they going to get out?
Maybe that might be. That might be a good portion.
I mean, it's expensive to move.
Absolutely.
And so I would be curious to see how many of these homeless folks actually have jobs. Like it's a weird thought. Maybe I'm totally off on that.
Yeah,
but
maybe
I wonder,
just can't afford to.
Right, maybe they can't afford a house
to have a place to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's I mean, I don't know. That's rough. It's amazing how different the entire United States can be in this consideration, that you can have, everything from, I'm sure where you're at, like, everything's kind of dirt cheap because you're in the middle of the boondocks.
For the most part, I mean, everything is super cheap. Well,
and everything's a little more expensive down where I'm at, mainly because we're near a shore town.
Yeah,
but we're also near New York City.
Just to clarify on that, for us, it really depends. Like Norfolk, our closest city, rent is more expensive than buying.
Right.
But we have a lot of transient workers who come through, particularly with the wind industry. And so they're looking for a place to live for 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Huh.
And so rent is incredibly high. It's like $1,500 for a two-bedroom house.
Woo.
But
a 2-bedroom house?
Yeah, like a 2-bedroom house.
Dude, that's cheap, man.
Excuse me. 15. Ow, I saw it the other day. It was $1,500 for 2-bedroom house. But see, okay, so here's the thing. Yes, it's cheap compared to like New Jersey,
right?
But compared to the rest of the country, it's like a little bit higher than average.
Yeah.
And I mean, compared to obviously San Francisco,
that's nuts.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I don't know.
All of a sudden, we're all going to move to Florida and become Florida men.
Well, why not, right?
Hey,
I mean,
president did it.
If the president can do it, why can't we?
Why not, man?
The Front Porch Show Southern Headquarters, Florida. So last segment, we were talking about the homeless situation in San Francisco. I don't even know how we got there. We got there from, I guess, folks wanting to leave San Francisco.
Right.
And high costs, high homeless rates, kind of dirty city. But then you send over this article that says that New Jersey is going to try to develop 4 supervised intravenous drug injection sites.
Yes. To try and help stave off the opioid stuff, I guess. I don't know. I have such horribly mixed opinions about this.
It's like on one side of it, it's like I'm sitting there going, okay.
First, let me preface this. All right, New Jersey has a rather large opioid addiction problem. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah,
they do. So that is actually one of the things that was really, really not, I guess, depressing to find out.
Now, is that
coming to the state?
Is that actually intravenous opioid problems, or is it like pill popping issues?
No, I think it is. I think it's actually just injecting yourself, I believe.
No kidding. Of course, with pill mills being shut down, opioid pill use is pretty low. That's compared to
I'm not 100% on that because I'm not really into finding all of this out.
Yeah.
But it is a problem. I mean, we had one of the things that happened just a couple miles away from where I was at is they had a kid who for Halloween wound up getting heroin in his bag.
Oh, really?
From a trunk or treat.
Good grief.
So that was an interesting thing.
At a church?
No, not at a church.
Okay.
Thankfully not. It was down.
Wasn't sure what kind of churches you guys have there.
It was down by the Walmart.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
poor Walmart.
That's kind of what we're getting into. So anyways,
tragic.
Yeah, and that was literally this year. So, but anyway, so what this is basically to help, I guess, help people. What they're doing is they are proposing supervised injection sites to help impact the opioid epidemic. Like I said, I have very mixed opinions about this. I've heard everything from people that I've talked to about this because this is a big hot button issue in our state.
Yeah.
I've heard everything from, you know what, if you're willing to risk your life in trying to shoot up with opioids, you deserve whatever happens to you, whether you die or whatever else happens to you because you're stupid. So I've heard that. I've heard things like, okay, well, it will help because, okay, it's supervised. Maybe there's some sort of help.
I mean, are they offering them counseling when they're in there? I mean,
that's what I'm not 100% sure of. I would think that would be the best solution is that, you know what, you can come use the site if you can basically help wean yourself off of it.
Yeah, but I don't know if most people are wanting to do that, though.
Correct. Right. So if it's that type of help, then I think it's a great idea. You know what I mean? Because anything you can offer. The flip side of that coin is, are you helping enable people to do something that is illegal? And if so, how does that work? Because, you know, this is a government sanctioned thing. So the government's helping you take illegal drugs.
See, it's
a very sticky issue.
This is where the moral side of me goes. You're an idiot for doing drugs.
Absolutely.
But the other side of me says we really need to decriminalize this and recognize drug use is what it is. It's a medical issue and it's an addiction issue.
Right.
And we need to deal with it on those levels.
But currently it's not.
I know.
And
currently
that's
it's
the hard part where
it's not. You're right.
You know, and I guess, I don't know. It just seems very, very... it needs to be, I think, a little more transparent than it is, because right now how it feels for me being a resident is that, you know what, my state is basically saying, hey, you know what, because we care about you and we don't want you to die or whatever else when you're getting injected and we don't want you to get all these horrible diseases by sharing needles and everything, we're going to provide everything for you to do it safely. And we'll have Narcan on site just in case that you overdose. And we can bring you back.
So here's
that's
my
how it feels.
So here's my question. Does providing the services that they provide reduce the public health risk elsewhere at an equal or greater value than this? Like, do you get what I mean? I mean, so
right.
you've got all these people who are ending up, you know, using the system because they're on these drugs. Is this going to reduce the use? Or number one, is it going to reduce the use? Number two, is it going to reduce the taxpayer, you know,
right,
cost, if you will? I mean, I think that also has to come into play. But if they're offering counseling services to try to get these people, you know,
right, absolutely
help, or are they just enabling and saying, okay, you're fine doing this?
Right.
because that I've got a big issue with, because that.
And right now it says, that they're going to potentially invest $2.7 million.
Man, that's a lot.
In the initiative, and promising to expand services at 7 existing sites.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So
what are the 7 existing sites?
Let's see.
Like, are they
and create new programs? I'm not really sure.
Do they already have these sites already, and they're just expanding them?
Believe so.
Because I don't.
Let's see.
I'm over here on Wikipedia, and I think Denver has some sites.
Like Maryland, New York has some.
Like Pennsylvania, Vermont, May.
Yeah. So it's possibly that they're just expanding it by 2.5 million.
I mean, I guess I'd love to see the impact. Is this actually reducing things?
It's a hard sell, because right now you have a lot of people that what happens is you have, because of, and I hate to say this, but because of the existence of Narcan, you have a lot of people that are willing to, I guess, go free reign and push it. Yeah. And go, you know what? If it happens, if I overdose, hey, you know what? Within 10 minutes, I can have an EMT on site who's got Narcan with him, or a cop on site who has Narcan with him.
Talk about a miracle drug there.
And you just, and all of a sudden, bam, you're back to life, and no muss, no fuss. And it's like,
yeah. Well, there are residual effects of the Narcan, I guess. But
right, but you're not dead.
Still, you're not dead. So
right. And I just it seems it's very, very, very teetering. I think like I said, I think there needs to be a lot more transparency with it, because there's a lot of stuff. And obviously, if it's starting in all of these states, you have it going statewide, it's becoming an epidemic. It's not only going to affect just New York, New Jersey, a little bit in Pennsylvania, and maybe Maryland and stuff. I'm sure it's going to be spreading too. But I think
the issue though is the drug addiction. Addiction is a terrible thing that goes so much deeper than someone just using something.
Right.
Like, it's not just the chemical dependency that they have. They are addicted to it. It is they have an issue going on with their life that has made them susceptible to want to do this.
Right.
And they found
an out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so
and that's why I was saying, like in last segment, where it's like, you have a lot of vets and stuff that are getting into a lot of this, and heaven help us, it's not exactly, they come home and then all of a sudden they just get dumped.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so it was an interesting thing. Program. So over in Vietnam and Korea, there was a lot of drug usage,
right,
among the GIs, and they came home, and most of them dropped the stuff that they were on cold turkey. And it was because they were leaving the environment they were in for a new environment.
Mm-hmm.
You've got these GIs now who are overseas serving. They're coming back to a place and they're trying to escape. And you've got people here who are living in this, what they perceive as a dystopian world. And they're seeking these drugs as a release from that world.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, some of it could be due to income. Some of it could be due to, life stresses, and stuff like that. But I guess what I'm saying is you have to offer someone a purpose, I guess. And if they can't find a purpose, they're not going to break those addictions. And of course, this is where I immediately say, there's obviously a religious example that can help with all this, and
right.
His name is Jesus, and you can find freedom from addiction through the power of Christ. But I guess obviously we're not going to have the state suggest that. So maybe that's the next best solution. I don't know. I mean, I don't like it.
It's hard. Have you heard about the new stuff that they're doing with virtual reality with addiction?
No, I didn't. Tell me about it.
So I think I saw this on the news thing that I was watching. I don't know why I didn't post it. But basically they're trying to use virtual reality to take people and almost, I guess, not give them the same sensations, because obviously it's not, but you're basically taking them out of their reality, kind of like drugs does,
right?
And putting them into a safer environment,
changing that environment,
right, where they can handle and be in charge of, or you know what I mean, essentially into a different world,
right? No, it makes sense.
Yeah, and so they've started apparently doing research into trying to help people out with addictions and among other things, to try and wean them off addicted substances. So it's an interesting.
It's fascinating.
It's an interesting thing. It's interesting that's even like an option at this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
as I said, I think taking someone out of the current environment they're in and kind of transporting them to another is a big factor. And if you can do that,
yep,
you're gonna make a lot of headway. But
yeah,
I still come back to it. The ultimate way to free yourself from addictions is through Christ, and that's
yep,
that's the only way. That's the only way of redemption. I mean. I realize we've got folks who aren't believers who listen to the show, but I have never seen a more successful way. Not to say that it's not without its issues and that people won't return to their addiction sometimes, but it's the best we've got. It's literally the best we've got.
Yes.
Thank you, Georgia man.
It's so good. It's so good.
Tell me
that every single time. I enjoy it.
Tell me about this Tesla truck.
All right, so
I am supremely.
Where are you going with that?
I don't know. I'm tired, Ozzy. I'm tired.
You're extremely interested. How about that?
Extremely interested and tired.
All right, so Elon Musk, the Musk man himself, yesterday has posted that the Cybertruck unveiling is going to be on November 21st in LA.
Interesting. Now, have we seen pictures of this yet?
There's pictures that are circulating of what people think it might look like, but there's no pictures yet. Like nobody actually knows what it looks like. There's a couple there was one, I think there's like a truck on the back of an 18-wheeler trailer that's with a bunch of Tesla cars that people are like, oh, it's the truck, but it's like covered, obviously it's all covered in white and
it would strike me as Elon is not doing that on purpose, or baiting and switching,
Yeah.
Like that totally wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So what we know is that according to Elon, it is supposed to be as good as at least a Ford F-150. Same towing, payload capacity.
But the new F-150 is actually pretty interesting, like pretty substantial for its towing and everything this year, isn't it?
I honestly have not paid attention. I'm not a huge truck guy. I mean, they're cool, but I own a minivan and a car.
No problem.
I guess if you want to call my minivan a Honda truck, then we'll go with that. Although Honda does make a truck, please tell them to stop. It's so bad. It's so bad.
So totally random. Have you seen the new Jeep Gladiator?
No. What is that?
Oh, it looks like what would you call it? It's like the Jeep It's like the Jeep. It's just a Jeep with 4 doors and then a truck bed.
All right, I gotta look this up.
Yeah. No, it's the Jeep Gladiator. Anyways, it looks pretty cool.
Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's just a knockoff Humvee.
Yeah, for the most part.
That's all it is.
For the most part, but they're not making Humvees anymore.
Heavens to Betsy, how long is that thing?
It's about as long as my pickup truck.
That's ridiculous.
Actually, it's shorter than my pickup truck. My pickup truck's about 4 foot longer.
What would you use this for?
Putting 4 people in there and your crap. I mean,
come on.
Yeah, I see uses. I see uses.
Come on.
It's like asking me what I'll use my truck for. I mean,
no, it's not, because, but this isn't a truck.
But it is kind of. It's got a truck bed on the back.
Get out of here.
It's like a 5 foot truck bed.
Get out of here with your Jeep
Anyways,
truck.
Tell me more about the Tesla pickup truck. It's more interesting anyways, because we may not see it on the 21st.
Yeah, I know, right? So what they're saying is that theoretically, because it is going to be bigger, obviously, than the cars, hopefully, that you should be able to see quite a significant boost in the amount of power because of the amount of batteries that you'll be able to put into it.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I think it's going to honestly be a really tough sell.
Yeah, but if you're towing with it, though, man, if you're towing with it, it's going to burn that battery so fast.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be a super tough sell because how do you convince, again, it's the whole argument of how do you convince somebody to go and say, hey, you know what? It's going to take you an hour to charge this thing at a gas station, or it's going to take you like 6 minutes.
I'm gonna take the 6 minutes any day.
Absolutely. And I mean, I just unless this thing is like super rugged, I don't know how this is going to be a really good sell for any contractors.
$50,000, which is cheaper than I believe the F-150.
Well, it depends on what you're putting in the F-150. F-150s are not that expensive,
aren't they?
No, are you crazy? A new F-150? Like, what kind of F-150 are you comparing that to?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what maybe
like a 350 or something. You're talking about with the crew cab and the whole 9 yards?
Oh yeah, of course. I wouldn't go anything less than a crew cab.
Like the cheap F-150s, I want to say started like 25.
Okay, crew cab, crew cab is 35. Okay, so we're talking $15,000 more.
Right.
See, I've never priced a new F-150. I've always priced the brand new 350s, which start at $75,000.
Right.
So
Right.
Not that I would ever have a new one of those.
Right. Exactly. But again, I don't know, man. Supposedly it's going to hold 6 people, so it's going to be big enough to accommodate everybody.
Now, is it 6 real people or 6 small people? Because
according to Elon Musk, it is going to be able to accommodate the former wrestler Andre the Giant. So that is how big.
One of him, or 6 of them?
Maybe.
because I'm just thinking, like, my F-150, I used to own an F-150, and it had 6 seats. It was okay.
Yeah.
Like, it had room, but it wasn't great. My F-350 is about 4 inches wider and can accommodate 6 people with no problem at all.
Right.
So there's a difference.
I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is, like, you got Ford that's probably going to start coming out. I think it's at the end of the article. It says that Ford has a version of the iconic F-150 that's going to be coming out. I don't know. Like that. Like whenever you get into this heavy duty stuff, that's when you're going to really start seeing whether or not it's going to actually work. There's a lot of demand that's going to be going on with these trucks.
My biggest issue is the weight. As soon as you start putting that weight on there and hauling weight,
that's a lot.
It's going to burn the battery really fast.
Well, not to mention the weight of the truck itself. Batteries aren't exactly light either.
Well, exactly. I mean, here's my issue. You sit there and you put in, say you're hauling a trailer, 6,000 pound trailer. All of a sudden, your battery life goes from 1,000 miles down to 500 miles.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a big difference.
You also got to think about what normally on a normal day, what are you going to haul that's going to be more than 500 miles?
I don't know. I mean? I drive a lot, so,
Right,
I don't know.
Right. But I'm saying, your average contractor is probably not going all but maybe 100 miles a day, 200 miles a day.
Maybe.
That would be my guesstimation.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
But
so even if it has 500 miles of life, and then you're hauling, drops it in half.
Yeah.
250. I mean, that's still a lot of.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money, though. That's the thing with these Teslas.
Yeah, but most of these truck drivers,
that price point.
Most of these contractors aren't buying an F-150 though. They're buying a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton.
Absolutely.
And so the question is, can Tesla meet that?
Can it stack up to those?
I mean, because is it gonna haul a 25-foot closed-in trailer? I don't think so. I would doubt it.
I don't know.
No,
I mean, they have a lot of power. They got a lot of torque. But again,
I've seen some F-150s driving around that look like that. But
the power, man. How long is it going to last? That's the thing.
I know.
I'm very interested, to say the least. I'm extremely interested to find out what this thing is going to be.
If we could double battery life, I'd be in instantaneously. No questions asked.
For that price?
On the car.
For that price? Those cars ain't cheap, man.
I would highly consider
cool.
it.
They're super cool.
So I've priced out used ones and used I don't remember what the series is, but anyways, I've priced them out. They're not bad. You can only buy them through Tesla because Tesla. They're kind of
right. Yeah, exactly. Right, sure.
And
oh gosh! All right, what else we got?
So, okay. So did you see the driverless Tesla driving down the road the wrong way after being summoned by its owner?
Wait, what?
A Tesla.
Wait, it drove down the road the wrong way?
Drove down a one-way street the wrong way, I guess. When the owner summoned it.
Wait, how? But I thought that.
I take that back. It was just driving down the wrong side of the road, so down the wrong lane. But yeah, so
isn't that the driver's fault though? Because don't you control the car?
No. When you press summon, the car immediately comes to you.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, yeah, but it's awesome too.
It's like the Batmobile, except not as awesome. That's what Tesla needs to do. They
build a Batmobile.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. They need. You know what they need to do? Build the tumbler and make it electric, and I'll buy it.
Oh man, it just cut off someone else. It just cut someone off. Oh no! Someone's driving around it. Someone in a VW is driving around it. The Tesla is driving
you mean
down.
The real person?
Yes, the real person is like, screw this.
The real person who's avidly trying to avoid.
And the Tesla car just stops. Wow, isn't that wild?
I don't know.
So Tesla drivers have summoned their cars 550,000 times since it's been released in September of 2019.
That's such a gimmick, though.
It's so awesome.
But where's the actual practicality in this? All it is it's just so you can show off to your friends that you're rich and can own a Tesla.
Well, yeah.
And live your boyhood dream of having a real life remote control car.
Yeah. No.
I don't admit it. It is cool, but
it's awesome.
It's completely nothing more than that.
It's incredibly awesome. I like it. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Oh man, cars have damaged themselves while self-driving. Oh no! There's a video of it driving into a wall. I mean, come on, you're not supposed.
Aren't they supposed to stop if they see things like that?
Well, yeah, man. I guess apparently it can't see the wall next to a garage.
Yeah, it's a really hard thing to see. There's lots of people who've run into
there's
walls.
videos. Well, right. People drive into walls all the time. So I think that's an interesting thing. That's a really interesting thing to talk about. Because it's like we expect these cars to be perfect, and they're not going to be perfect ever. They will never be perfect. There will always be error issues.
At least for a while, they're not going to be, because they need to...
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you doing over there, Ozzy? Put your clothes back on.
Anyway, they're not going to be perfect for a while because it takes a lot of data.
Yeah, but I don't even think they'll ever be perfect
to come up with this. You know what? I think of it kind of like the whole GPS thing where, your GPS used to drive you into the middle of lakes and stuff like that.
Mine still does sometimes.
Right. And it's not going to be perfect, but it's a drastic improvement over what it used to be, just to try and sound like I really love these cars, and I don't.
Yeah, but the question is how much error are we willing to take? I mean, are we willing to take 2 or 3 people dead a year?
But how much error does it take out, though? That's the question.
Well, that's the ethical question. I know.
Is it offsetting? If it offsets 10,000 people dying, is it okay to have 3,000 people die in an electric car?
Well,
or buy an electric car. Do you know what I mean? Like, are we looking at those terms?
I know, but so are you willing to put your life at the risk of a computer?
Absolutely not.
No, I know. That's my thing too. I'd rather have the risk of me driving and dying.
Yes.
A miserable flaming death in the side of a mountain.
Yes.
Than finding out,
not sure about a miserable flaming death.
As I'm entering into the pearly gates and looking down and seeing my Tesla that just drove into a wall. I mean,
really, Jarvis? Really?
Exactly.
What happens if you tick it off?
Right? Well,
don't get in. Like, wait till they get artificial intelligence and have personalities.
No, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that brings us. It's
gonna be terrifying. Oh,
that brings us to another article I found.
It's gonna be like all iRobot up in here.
The problem is, it is almost already.
Oh
okay.
Gosh, what is this?
So AI this is according to the independent.co.uk. AI deemed too dangerous to release makes it out into the world.
Of course.
Researchers have feared this model known as GPT-2. Yeah, it's like, what do they expect? Of course it's going to happen.
Have we not seen this in every single robot movie?
I mean, Terminator, hello.
Every kid in kindergarten could have seen this coming.
It's so true. So
we have cartoons, we have live action movies, we have hand drawn stuff. Like, everything says that this is going to happen, and you guys were like, you know what? We're going to take the risk. It'll be fine.
Had to do it.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. What's the worst that could happen? We can all turn into Terminator.
So this is AI called GPT-2. It was created for a simple purpose. It can be fed a piece of text, and it was able to predict the words that will come next. By doing so, it's able to create long strings of writing that are largely indistinguishable from those written by a human being. So we're not talking next word on your Google phone, which is terrible.
Joke.
I'm sorry.
Ruined
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's done. It's gone.
I'm sorry.
It's gone. It's gone. It's good.
I know.
It's okay. I'm not bitter.
Anyways, it was able to be strangely coherent or like cohesive in its sentences.
You want to talk about strangely cohesive? Have you checked out the Google Assistant? That's terrifying.
Yeah, I know. It's even scarier than Alexa. Scarier than Alexa.
No. But like the one that they're testing out. Have you seen that?
No.
Well, how have you not seen this?
I haven't seen this.
It's the one. It's like the true Google Assistant. It's not like your little Google Dot or Alexa or whatever, all that jazz. Like that's like small change, man. This is like, this thing calls people and talks to them.
Really?
Without them knowing it's AI.
Really?
Dude, they have it.
I don't like that.
I'll have to pull that up like in the next segment. It's horrifying. Dude, that's like a year old or something.
Yeah, I probably heard about that, but chose to ignore it.
terrifying. Yeah, they have it and they make some good points. Basically, it's like a secretary, and the good stuff is you can tell it to hey, you know what? Can you order 15 pizzas for this time and get them delivered?
That's kind of cool.
And the place will call the people, and it can deal with problems. So if the people ask them, if you're trying to reserve a table or whatever, and they'll go, well, we don't have a table for 7:00. We have a table at 6:30. Is that okay? And the thing will go, yeah, that's fine. And
that's
it's just
wild.
it can problem solve. And it's so eerie.
That's
these people don't even know that they're talking to a freaking machine.
See, I think that's the scariest part about the AI. AI on the large scale is it's so terrifying. Hey,
Jeff, we need the rods of God.
Jeff. Elon Musk warned us about this.
Elon Musk is making it.
No. See, that's the funny thing. He is brutally opposed to AI. He thinks it's going to take over the world.
Says the guy who has a car that you can summon. Come on.
Yeah, that's different. He's in control, man.
Is he, though? Or is he the machine?
Ooh.
Must have been a bad batch around here because Floyd counties went crazy in the last 4 days. When I finally got down here to the house to look see what happened, the door was standing wide open. It looked like he was packing up for a yard sale when he come out. He was lying, throwing his hands, saying stuff like, I didn't do it, you know how roads do, and blaming on everybody else. He did pull a gun on me when I got back around the house because I guess he thought I was upset with him. Who steals a cheese grater? He's got the words, Lysol. He stole an empty bottle of spray. What got me the most was my soap. He stole my soap. Who steals soap?
You think the AI is going to be able to get him?
I love that he calls them like rogues do. I love that.
This is gold.
I love that he calls them rogues.
Rogues.
Must have been a bad batch. Stole my soap.
Who steals soap?
Who steals soap?
Oh my goodness! So we in the break we watched the video of the AI assistant, the Google AI assistant, Google Duplex, I guess they're calling it. What?
Yeah.
Calling up a hairdresser and setting up an appointment for a client.
Yes.
Boy, that was wow. That was crazy.
Yeah. If you have not checked it out, you Google it. Yeah,
Google it.
That'll help you.
You know, the funny thing is, if you're listening to it on your Google phone, it'll probably show up in your searches after just naturally in your searches.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. You know, Ozzy, I like the idea of our evil robot overlords not being able to kill us.
I would think most people like the idea of evil overlords not being able to kill them, whether they're robots or not.
It's true, but
do you have to specifically qualify them as robots?
Yeah, I do.
So you're fine with evil overlords as long as they're not robots.
Like it's expected almost. It's expected, but there's something about the robots that just I don't want to I don't know.
Robot movies.
Walks in, catches, attacks you while you're sleeping or something. I mean,
I wasn't sure where that was going.
No,
my mind was wandering there.
Wow,
I was like, there's so many places. Please narrow it down.
No, wow.
For heaven's sake.
I wasn't going there. Let's go to a weird place though, Ozzy. Let's go to
say we did.
Let's go to a really weird place now, and that is the. That is the woman who spent over $37,000 on body modifications. Now, that's not the interesting part of the story. The interesting part of the story is that she goes blind for 3 weeks after tattooing her eyeballs blue.
What?
Yeah, the whites of her eyes.
Wait, like her eye? Wait, what?
Don't fire until you see the whites in her eyes? No. Don't fire until you see the blue in her eyes.
Wait.
Yeah, you can tattoo your eyeballs. Yes, you can. Ew. scary.
Oh, her eyes are blue.
Her eyes are blue.
Like, no, actually, her eyes are brown.
Look into those.
Like her eyeball. Look into those eyeballs. Like she doesn't have any white eye. Ozzy, her eye's not white.
Ozzy, just look into those baby blues.
That's eerie.
Oh, it is. It is.
You could tattoo your eyeballs?
Yeah, apparently it's not without issues, though. I mean, she went blind for 3 weeks. She had what is called an eyeball job done.
How do you...
And that's where they accidentally go too deep with the tattoo needle. And, yeah.
I do not like this story.
No, I don't like this story at all.
I keep touching my eyes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like I'm covering my eyes so that I don't have to
16 years old. 16 years old, and she decides that she's going to pursue this. Now, my biggest question is how is she affording it? Oh
my gosh, she is all tatted up.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Holy moly.
It's super weird. Like,
wow. How much does this cost?
$37,000. Yeah, man.
Where in the world is she getting this money?
I don't know. She had vampire teeth installed, tattoos all over her body.
Those don't come out?
No, those don't come out.
It looks like braces.
No.
It's just like she has tattoos.
She has tattoos everywhere, all over her face.
Her ears are tattooed.
Oh yeah, ears. Like, I assume everything is tattooed.
What in the world?
So crazy. Anyways, blind for 3 weeks every time she gets these eyes done. And I don't know how often she has to get it done. Like, I don't. Like, it was obviously multiple times that she.
Well, you probably can't do it all in one shot. Kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of like a regular tattoo where it's like you get certain parts done. And
right.
You can't do it all in one shot. But
so crazy.
How is that a thing? Who figured that out?
Who was the first person who was like, I'm going to tattoo my eyes?
Like an eye?
Yeah, an eye.
Like, why would you let somebody stick you in the freaking eye with a needle?
It's so true.
So
true.
Oh, okay.
So weird. Anyways.
Okay. I'm done with this.
Moving on.
All right. Here you go. Did you know that this is great? This is the kind of superhero Florida man stuff that we have never knew we needed, but always hoped that we did. That is what we're looking at right here. So
what are we looking at?
Florida man. Here we go, baby. Florida man jumps off of his surfboard and lands on a shark. That proceeded to bite him.
Whoa. Like, intentionally jumps off?
No, like he didn't mean to jump off onto the shark. I think he basically was bailing, and he just landed on top of the shark. He gets bit, and instead of going to the hospital, he went home and then went to the bar.
Wow, that's dedication.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's so Florida, man. So
I love it.
So this guy's in New Smyrna Beach.
Florida, which is apparently the shark biting capital of the world. That is where I am quite familiar with that beach, actually, because that is where my grandparents lived. So I have been to these beaches. I have never seen a shark, and I sure as heck never saw a guy jump off a surfboard and land on a shark. But it would have been worth it, let me tell you, because this is great. I love it. So he 1 p.m. he gets bit and then drives home to Orlando, an hour away. Yes. Then he went to the bar,
and then he goes to the bar and shows off. What in the world?
Isn't it great? I love it. This is like the best Florida man story I have found yet.
So is he vying for DA of the week?
Oh man.
I think he is. I think he is. I think he is.
He might. So good though.
We have another article from Northampton, Massachusetts.
All right, what do we got on that?
Vehicle ends up inside landscaping trailer. Not exactly quite sure how it happened, but 7:17 in the morning, motor vehicle, there was a report of a motor vehicle crash where police and firefighters responded. Woman was trapped in her vehicle. They found the vehicle inside a landscaping trailer, which had been parked with its back open.
Well, yeah. Like you do if you're landscaping.
Right.
Right.
She
nothing uncommon there.
She informed the
oh my
the officers that her windshield was foggy, reducing her ability to see the trailer. Now, she was not issued she was issued a citation for impeded operation, so for the foggy window.
This lady is so screwed.
And for
her insurance is going to go through the roof.
Oh yeah, and for driving a vehicle with an expired registration.
Of course.
So they declined medical.
That's a big landscaping trailer too.
It is nice 24-footer there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be at least a 20-footer because that car. I guess it's a car.
Well, it's a Subaru Forester.
Yeah, it is all.
I'm telling you. Oh, it's all the way in. All the way in.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
I love the picture here. I love the picture here with the guy on his phone taking the picture.
Yes.
He's off to the side taking a picture of it.
There's like this fireman off to the side too that's just shaking his head like, what is going on?
I love it. So a tow truck company pulled the vehicle from the trailer. I would have just driven off with the trailer.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. If you look on the left, though, like she might have taken out the wheels of the trailer.
Oh, you're right. I think she did.
Because the wheels are definitely not sticking out of the trailer. They're definitely in with the trailer. So she might have taken out the wheels.
Wonder how they're gonna mow the lawn after this.
Do they have lawnmowers left?
I don't know if they do or not.
Maybe they had to drive their lawnmowers home. That would have been great. Follow up on that story.
Yeah, we will.
It's like 8-man crew has to drive lawnmowers back home.
Right. We will be digging into that story and discovering that.
That's so good.
Yeah, man, crazy.
Wow, that's quite a feat there. How fast was she going? Does it say how fast she was going?
I don't know, but I've like Northampton, if I remember correctly, and all of Massachusetts is super. It's like 50 miles an hour.
I was going to say, I'm assuming this is like on the side of a mountain,
and
there's a guardrail right there, and it looks like it drops off on the other side.
Odds are it was like 40 miles an hour or slower.
So maybe she was coming around a corner and just didn't see what. Oh god. Anyway, the moral of the story
literally didn't see it coming.
So hard to miss.
She drove right in.
Nailed it.
It's like this is what
she was like. It's like when you have those old Mission Impossible movies where they drive into the back of the trailer and the car disappears. Yeah. You're like, where did it go?
Oh yeah.
They should have just shut it off.
Shut the door and drove off.
What are you talking about? I don't know. Cops pass by. They're like, where did this happen? I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, man. So funny.
That's so good. I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
Well, Ozzy, that's it for this week.
All right.
You're on vacation next week. Have a great time, man.
Yes. I'll catch everybody in 2 weeks.
Don't travel too far.
Yeah.
Too hard. Enjoy road tripping with the kids.
It's a blast.
Always a blast.
Always a blast.
Check out the show, past episodes on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, a variety of other places.
All that jazz.
Also, www.thefrontporchshow.com. Follow the Facebook page. We chat there all the time, every day, just about. We'll see you next time. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.